Hey YouTube, today is Friday, September 28th of 2018. This is my third video and I have been kind of MIA for multiple reasons, but the main one is that I have a MacBook Pro and I bought a really nice camera to make videos and edit them, but for some reason my MacBook Pro is not allowing me to download like really anything, but I mainly want to download iMovie because I know how to use it. It's telling me like it's out of date, which is weird because my son has my old iMac Air, which he got it to download. So I don't know what's going on, but basically I've been trying to figure out how to edit videos and I have not been successful. All of the other like video editing apps that I've downloaded, I've even paid for some. I literally cannot figure out how to use them. So this is going to be another video, just like my last two that I did. I'm not going to really edit. So hopefully I don't mess up a lot. But I did want to update everyone and just, I guess, have record for myself of what my plans are. So I am currently 21 weeks out, 21 weeks starting yesterday, which was Thursday, from the Arnold 2019. So in 21 weeks, I have approximately, about 23 pounds to drop, to lean out to get where I think I want to be on stage. So all of my previous competitions, I've came in at around like 121, 123, 125 even. I think it was one of my Pittsburgh Pro shows that I've done. It was like 125. So at that point, my body is very lean up top, and I'm very tiny at top, but my legs still hold a lot of fat, and that is just my genetics. So I think that this year my goal is going to be about 118, just because that's going to be at least 3 to 4 pounds. Sorry, there's like a fly. At least 3 to 4 pounds lighter than I've ever been. So I think that I'm going to be really good at that weight. Also, since the last Arnold I did, which was I think 2016, I put on a lot of mass up top. So even when I do slim down, I will have more of an upper body. And then if I get my lower body small, it'll be more of an hourglass versus how it normally is I look like this, with my legs just carrying a lot of excess fat still. So I'm going to do a little physique update. And I'm like really embarrassed of my kitchen because we are remodeling it. So like there's no backsplash. The countertops are getting ripped out, and then my cabinet doors are off because I'm repainting all of my cabinets because, long story short, the people that own this house got new cabinets but not on the bottom but not on the top. So the ones on the top are not as white as the ones at the bottom. So it's like super making me OCD. All right, so first I'm going to do a quick physique update, and then I am going to talk about macros, why they're important, how to break them down, what they mean, and what my current macros are and my current like plan for prep. All right, so physique update is I currently weigh 141 pounds, and I'm going to turn this even more. So I'm currently at 141, and I definitely feel like my abs are starting to come in up top. Like my upper abs always come in, obviously, first. I'm starting to kind of lean out. I have some shape to me, but still not anything like stage worthy. But I'm definitely getting smaller and tighter, and that definitely has to do with my diet this past like month or so, and I've actually started to add in a little bit of cardio. But my overall plan is for the next 3 weeks. So basically this week starting yesterday, is week 1 and then 2 and 3. I'm going to be dropping 2 pounds a week. And from that point on, I'll be doing 1 pound a week. And that is not going to count the week over like Thanksgiving. And then that is actually going to get me into stage readiness, or like my actual weight that I want to be, which I'm shooting for 118, to be 2 weeks out from the show. That way my peak week, I'm not dropping any weight. And the week before that gives me like a week of leniency, just in case there is a week that I don't drop the 1 pound a week. Which honestly, for me, normally all of my preps have been like 9 weeks long, 9 to 12 weeks. And in all of those weeks, I've done 2 pounds a week, which is very doable for me, especially when I'm on top of my diet and I'm training. But this prep, I want to sustain as much muscle mass as I can. So that is why I'm going to be doing 1 pound a week throughout most of my prep versus 2 pounds a week for a shorter prep. So my current macros are relatively high in fats. My protein, I'm trying to get in like 135 grams of protein. Fats, I'm allowing to go to 60 grams, and some days I don't really hit that. And then my carbs are up to, but not exceeding, 120 grams a day. Now, this is not what I'm going to be doing throughout the whole prep. I'm kind of doing a little 3-week like reset, just trying to kind of drop down. And then at the end of these 3 weeks, I'm going to reevaluate and I'm going to build a plan for my macros, which I'm going to attempt to do a lower fat, higher carb, and then obviously keeping my protein up grams per body weight. So just 1 gram of protein per my body weight. And right now I'm 141 pounds, but that much protein for me is like a lot. And I have not been going to the gym lifting wise as much as I do when I'm on prep. When I'm on prep, I lift 5 at least days a week. So what my plan is for the next 3 weeks is 4 times a week cardio at 30 minutes. And I don't run. So that's out. Either bike riding or stairs or like plyos. And then 2 times a week I'm training, like I'm lifting. And what I'm going to be doing is going like a shoulder day, then a glute day, and then a back day, and then a glute day, and then a shoulder day. So I'm kind of alternating shoulders and back, and then I'm putting in a glute day in between. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because since I haven't been lifting so much, every time that I do lift, I end up getting really sore afterwards just because my body's not used to it. So I'm going to work my way back into lifting, and I'm going to slowly come down off of the cardio. So the cardio is going to help me drop 2 pounds a week, but once I hit my down 6 pounds mark and I start going to 1 pound a week, I'm actually going to do cardio like twice a week at 30 minutes, maybe less, like 20 minutes, and then I'm going to ramp up my lifting. And anytime I lift, my heart rate is honestly like as high or higher than when I'm doing cardio, because cardio I always go slow. Like even if I'm doing interval training, I'm going, I'm running for 30 seconds and then I'm walking for a minute. So I never want my heart rate to go probably above like 150, 155, because then I am possibly burning muscle, which I don't want to do. So that's the plan. I wanted to go into macros a little bit. I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram and on Snapchat from a lot of my followers, as well as just people that I went to college with. So I wanted to break down what macros are and why they're important. So there are 4 major macronutrients. So we have macros and then we have micros. Micronutrients are things like vitamins, minerals, that are very essential for us, but we get in small quantities, which is why they're called micros. Now, macros are carbs, fats, proteins, and alcohol. Yes, I said alcohol. Now, from the 4 macronutrients, only 3 of them actually benefit us. Alcohol is basically, like you've heard people say, it's an empty calorie. The reason why is because it literally serves no beneficial function in our bodies. I mean, it thins our blood a little bit, so if you want to have 1 drink a day, that's awesome. But it's not actually benefiting you at all. So protein is one of the major macronutrients when we talk about bodybuilding, because it helps us sustain muscle, it helps us grow muscle, it repairs muscle when it's broken, and basically you need to have at least like maybe 0.75 to 1.5, maybe 2 grams per body weight. So if you're 100 pounds, then you want to be eating 100 grams of protein a day. And again, this is when you are building and trying to sustain muscle. Carbs are the second macronutrient that I'm going to talk about today, and it is also very important because it is the #1 source of energy that our body uses. So for a carb, basically what your body does is when you're eating food and it's getting energy from those 3 major macronutrient groups, it's going to pull from the carbs first. Our bodies digest it the fastest, and it's like the best way of our body getting fuel. Now, fats are also a very, very important macronutrient. And what they do is they line our nervous system. They are actually lining our brain. So they help us with hormonal issues and things of that sort. So a lot of people go very low fat on prep, which is fine. But again, you never want to go too low. Like I personally, through most of my prep, I'm not going to say 3 weeks out, but 3 weeks or 2 weeks or peak week. I'm not saying that this applies, but usually throughout most of my prep, I'm going to be at least at 20 to 25 grams of fats a day. I will never go under that. So again, right now I'm at about 60. And I'm not eating saturated fats or trans fats. I'm trying to stick with the good, the poly fats and the unsaturated. So that is kind of where I stand with macros and why they're important. Now, when it comes to breaking down macros and calories, it's actually pretty simple. So if you have 1 gram of a carb or of a protein, that is 4 calories, right? So 1 gram of each of those equals 4 calories. So if you have a banana, let's say this banana only has carbs in it, sugar, right? And you weigh the banana, and the banana weighs 25 grams. So 25 grams times 4 is going to be 100 calories. So that banana is going to be 100 calories, and it just gave your body 25 grams of carbs. Pretty simple. The same with protein. Now, fats are a little bit different. 1 gram of a fat is 9 calories. So theoretically, when you're talking grams, like you're always going to be, it's going to appear that you're eating more grams of carbs and protein, and you're eating less grams of fat, but the calories that you're bringing in are going to maybe equal out because you have 9 calories for 1 gram of fat versus 4 for the proteins and the carbs. So if that makes sense. So the reason why bodybuilders track grams versus total calories is because grams help you track the proportion of those 3 macronutrients, and that is key to bodybuilding. You want to make sure that your body is getting enough of what it needs from your proteins, from your fats, from your carbs, versus just eating 1,400 calories a day, which may be mostly fats and carbs, so you're not getting enough protein to build and sustain muscle, which as everybody knows, is huge in bodybuilding. So I wanted to kind of break that down a little bit, and hopefully everyone can write that down. So if you look at a food label and it tells you like how many grams per serving of fat is in the specific food and how many grams of carbs and how many grams of protein, you'd multiply that by the 4s and 9, and then you'd add those 3 numbers up, and that would tell you how many calories are in one serving. So hope that helps. And one of my girlfriends from college, Alex, was just talking to me about like how she's not good at math. She said, I don't math. All right, well, if that's you, then there's a lot of apps out there that you can literally like scan food labels and you can enter food in, like whether it's a chicken breast and it's cooked versus a chicken breast uncooked. You can weigh that, enter it into your app, and it will break down the fat, the protein, the carbs, and all of those foods. But I would always recommend, if you are actually prepping for a show, to weigh your food. I watch a lot of competitors, IFBB pros even, that are like using measuring cups, which if it works for you, that's great. But I'm like really anal OCD that I need to know the exact weight. Sometimes you compact it more and you get more food into that cup, or sometimes it's not enough food. So, you know, for me, a food scale is essential. I even carry one in my purse when I'm like really at least like 9 weeks out. I will literally carry one in my purse, take it to the restaurant, break down my food on the food scale if I need to. But again, I try not to go out that much. But still, I'm that crazy person that is literally weighing their food in a restaurant. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helped, and I will see you soon.